So I'm in the trenches right now. And if you're like somewhat similar to me in my position, chances are you are too. The hard part about this self-improvement journey, the hardest part's the beginning. And the thing that's the hardest about it is that we're in that stage where we're having like growing pains. So like our new selves are trying to morph. Meanwhile, our old selves are still trying to like keep us in check, keep us in routine. Like that's why when you have the desire to journal, read, or meditate, and then your brain just tells you not to do that, or your brain tells you to eat junk food. So if you're like me, chances are you're probably in that stage right now as well. And if you're wondering why everything looks so weird right now, it's because I'm in my brother's car recording. So the audio might sound a bit shitty. Actually, it might be kind of loud. Hold on. Let's see if I can turn that shit down. Alright, so one thing I've realized for the last few months since I moved back here in Indiana is that the hardest part of this self-improvement journey is the beginning. The hardest part is the initial stages of growing out of your old self and into your new self. And it's like sort of like gaining momentum. Like right now we're rolling the rock up the hill, but eventually we'll get to the other side and the rock will start rolling itself. That sort of situation. For me specifically right now, I haven't been very consistent with uploads as much as I'd like, mainly because of outside circumstances, but also because of my lack of discipline. Like I'm taking full accountability. And I think accountability is actually very important when it comes to getting out of this stage, is not making excuses, like if you are trying to do no fap and you end up busting a fucking nut and then you blame it on something else, it's like, you're not going to get out of this stage, man. It's just not going to happen. If you don't want to eat junk food, you're trying to eat healthy, but then you end up eating junk food and say, oh, well, there was nothing else to eat, like, or some bullshit excuse, like, there's no way you're going to be able to get out of this stage. You're going to be stuck here. You're going to be stuck thinking, oh, I should be way better than I am. And then you're going to suffer from self-esteem issues, and then it's not going to end well. So you have to hold yourself accountable. And most of that just comes from being aware of your own thoughts. Like, let's say you're thinking about buying like a really expensive item, and you keep like thinking, you keep trying to justify like, it's for my business, even though you know it's not. Like, you're aware that like you're just kind of making up excuses because you want something nice. So holding yourself accountable and being aware of like your thoughts, and like when you're having like those weird moments where like your old self is like trying to convince your new self, like, hey, let's buy this thing, or let's do this. Another thing is discipline. We all know discipline's important. Discipline is like one of the most important things. Discipline and patience, the two most important things in this self-improvement journey. Because discipline is what's going to keep you consistent in doing those habits. It's going to keep you consistent in not eating the junk food, not jacking off, shit like that. But patience is also important, because patience is what's going to get you like going for the long run. Like we're running a marathon here. It's not a sprint. We're doing this our whole lives. So having the patience, like everything doesn't have to be now. Like I don't need to get to the other side of the hill where the rock starts rolling itself now. So I'm just going to be patient and be disciplined, so then I can just consistently put out the work and be patient enough to wait for the results to start coming in. Because there is a compound effect. This camera's like inverted, but there is like a compound effect. Like it's exponential. It's not like linear. It's exponential. So like for the longest time, it'll feel like we're not going anywhere. But then as soon as we start getting momentum, it just runs itself basically. If you read Atomic Habits by James Clear, I think he calls it like the valley of disappointment in the beginning stages, like where we are now here in the trenches. You're disappointed, like you really like, it's not like when you start, because when you start, like you have hope and shit, and it's like, but once you've actually like, you're like a few months in, you like started like working on yourself, and you saw like significant results before, but now you're kind of like, it feels like things aren't really going anywhere. it's kind of like that valley of disappointment. All you gotta do is make it past that, and then you're good to go. Like, it's really that simple. Just make sure that you have discipline and you have patience. Also, make sure that you're just aware of your thoughts. Make sure that you're holding yourself accountable. Man, this is a terrible video. I mean, not the shit I'm saying, but like, I'm in my brother's car, you know, like, I got the fucking flashlight right in my fucking eyes. This audio is probably horrible. This audio is probably like the worst audio I've had in any video, but I gotta put something out anyway. I think that'll be it though, guys. You guys take care.